Go! FBI, open up!
Good morning.
All week.
It's Friday.
All week long.
And all rise, order in the court. Fire captain is here. Shells, Carol, myself, and Mikey Bigfoot Pass.
And 3 ceilings, Creed. Oh, well, there's a Warman.
Oh yeah, but nope, yep. Those are big.
She got a little bounce to the ounce.
Oh,
Boing, 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 boing.
Rubble V is in bed today. That's
Well, he's enjoying the iPhone 2. Bouncing down the stairs.
Well, good to see everybody. This is We Got a Case. Back at it. I'm about dead. If I seem very loopy, it's because we had a crazy ass weekend.
Drunk as hell all weekend long.
Yeah, no. Lots of work. So today is my Sunday, nice and chill, except for the work we'll be doing today. But other than that, I've barely made it off.
Don't you worry. It's Monday. We're phoning it in.
That's
Don't
right.
you worry.
Why not? Yeah, so 3 ceilings over here. I'll tell you what, as things get Marable. I
mean, he says it the best. So, how is it said?
Good afternoon. I'm District Judge Herman Marable from 67th District Court here in Flint.
Marable. All right. I am going to I want to jump over to this, but any of you have ever seen a NASCAR race where they kind of shut up for the first lap? Because you just kind of want to take it all in, or maybe your moment of zen, if you will, at the end of the old Daily Show when it was good.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
But yeah, I want you to see this guy walk in. Now, this was just about 7 minutes ago. They are still live, and I want to jump to it now just because again, you guys know when there are live things that they don't save and they cut it, they go bye-bye.
And then it's gone.
There's that. John, all the way from Australia. John, I actually watched a TV show that was on YouTube last night, and it was over in Australia, and it's just people that drive trains and all about the train industry there.
Oh, easy does it. Did you tell Knox about it? He would love that.
He probably would. Greg, good morning. Good to see you.
Good day. That kid is way too young to be in court. No, never mind. It's an old woman.
Great to see you. All right, so we're gonna jump over. To this. I think is it Knox?
Knox County.
Knox County. It's the magistrate, and they're right in right in the jail. Just watch this guy.
All right, next. No matter who.
You're walking.
It's nice and clean in there.
It is.
How you doing, sir?
Doing fine. I'll be right with you. I'm finishing up some paperwork.
Hey, doing this,
He's a gummer.
Every.
Vincent getting ready for vacay, I believe. I had to check Discord today because I got a message from 6. What's wrong with Discord? Where did Discord go or something like that this morning? So I went to it, and it's fine, and 6 is posting on there, so I'm not sure.
Maybe 6 is wanting to know why. Just why. He is not mentioned more in Discord. Maybe that's it.
Maybe.
Thank you.
What? What are you talking about?
By the way, while you were gone on Friday,
Your balls.
one of the comments was that. Oh, I've got the button pushed. What an asshole, Mike.
We made it
is.
quite a few minutes. We did pretty good. Then I accidentally put up Hector's comment.
That's what happens when I play around with the board.
That's the farthest we've made it, though.
That is not bad. 5 minutes. A guy said I sounded like that I was a drooling drunk, I believe it was.
A drooling drunk.
Yeah, I was a drooling drunk.
No, it was just it was just like a docu-series, if you will, about the inner workings of the railroad. Actually, it's kind of neat. This is the Cable on Demand dating show. Yes, absolutely. He is most likely available, I would think. Maybe.
I mean, he's left a wake of women in his path, broken hearts from one end to the other.
What do you think makes him with the gummy situation there? The whole gumming thing.
He's part cow. He's chewing his cud. I say cud.
Vincent, I guess we got a second because dude's finishing up on paperwork. Where are you going for vacation? Is that what I read, right? Won't be around much, I think.
He's taking his wife back to the Ukraine.
Definitely with some helium, or who said just swallow? Yeah, just swallow Donald Duck.
Could have been.
Hello, Mary. Good to see you. Saw somebody say that viewing the Queen in state was better than seeing the birth of their own child. There was an interview. I just saw a video on Reddit about this.
I watched some of it. Them going down the road, taking her last ride.
Hey, Kristen. Yeah, one other thing. I guess they took the sticker off of the hearse that had the funeral home's name on it because they said that was tacky. But
would you see the custom made hearse she was in?
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
It's a Jag.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
There's a used car place in Florence. I drove by it about 15 times. Yes, it is. It's a beaut.
That's him.
It sure is.
I got a new set of markers and I'm ready to go.
It's buy here, pay here. Used car place has a really nice old caddy, and it's a hearse. I always wanted to own one. On vacation right now. Look at you, Vincent. I'm jealous.
On location.
Is meth what makes you do the whole thing?
I mean, he's like,
maybe not right now in jail. He's not.
1 minute.
Nope.
We're going to jump back to him, Creed. But I just wanted to show you what has developed over here in Herman land.
Oh my God!
They've sprung forth a bounty, right. So we'll be jumping back to that as soon as we're done with.
Let's
hot stuff here.
See how this plays out. Whoa, he's pointing at us.
He just noticed he was on camera.
Yeah, I might have.
He said, "Who's that other guy over there?" What is me? He's just pushing his teeth out with his tongue at this point.
I love this shot of them just standing in jail, though. But the audio, you would think that the audio would be real good, but the audio, I think, is not. There you go. You get a lot of echo inside there.
He's got a huge scar on his arm or something.
All right.
What did you say, sir?
What is your name?
David.
Hi, Nate. David says hi.
Hi. Seems nice.
Yes, Hector, I can see that. For sure. Yes.
How long do you think he spends brushing that hair?
Well, maybe today is going to be a good day at court. That's what we call a prisoner. Yes, Mike.
Manning emphasized that you can't record her court. And somebody left in the comments from when we watched Manning on Friday, you're not supposed to record this.
Okay. Well, don't
And
report.
then just, I think it was yesterday, Law Talk with Mike did the entire 2-hour court case from Judge Manning on his show. So
he's no idiot. If there was a big problem with that, he wouldn't be doing it.
yes, exactly.
FYI.
So
Say
if
what
you're
you-
involved in a court case, you can't record it because
A
you
lot of
then cannot record and use in another case.
we can say that until we're blue in the face or look like him from old age, and people are still not going to understand that. It is what it is. And,
All right, so you have the right,
Huh?
you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You have the right to an attorney. You can afford one. One will be appointed to you free of charge. You have the right to a preliminary hearing and a trial on these
it's
charges.
2 for Tuesday week to hear everything twice.
That's where you call witnesses and call the evidence and arguments. Do you understand those rights? I need you to speak up.
Flush if that damn Young, sometimes Young wasn't around, you know? Hello. Look at them cleaning that clean floor. Vincent, are you sure Discord's still there? 6, I was worried about it. This morning.
Charged with sexual battery,
Oh, God. Of course he was.
simple possession, possession of drug paraphernalia, disorderly conduct, indecent exposure,
Oh,
and resisting arrest. You- Pardon me?
I'm charged with.
Those are your charges.
Gee,
Did
Stephen
you
O'Neill.
understand them?
I understand them, yeah, but I didn't.
We're not here to talk about whether you did or not.
All right.
I've got a form here. Looks like you filled it out and signed it. Says you can't pay for an attorney. Is that correct?
I can't pay. No, I can't pay for that.
Beg pardon?
Uh-huh.
Did you fill out a form that says you can't pay for your attorney?
No.
Well, I've got one here. You can,
Yeah,
you can pay for your own attorney. Is that what you're telling me?
no, I can't, no.
Well, then raise your right hand.
All right.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be?
I can't hear. Yeah.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to
He's
give
still
will
going.
be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but?
at the same volume.
Yes.
He would
Man,
speak up that much.
is everything on? Everything on this form that looks like you signed at the bottom true and accurate? Do you have a job?
No.
Oh,
That's
shocker.
That's really shocking.
Any good reason why not?
Well, I've got some health problems.
No shit, do you?
And it's been hard to get one. It's not been that easy. You work off and on when you can get one. It's not easy keeping one.
Especially when you're whipping your pecker out all the time. Exposing thyself.
Riveting case so far.
I mean, it's Knox County, Tennessee. What do you expect?
Is he just playing dumb and knows what's going on, or is he just kind of
He's just enjoying the free room and board, to be honest with you, Creed. No bills.
Why are there suggestions as to people that should be in this meeting, in this call?
Suggested.
Ray Jenkins.
Glenn Jacobs.
You live in Knoxville?
Yes.
Who's he looking at? His
How
boyfriend?
many years have you lived in Knoxville?
17 all my life.
Did he say 17 all my life?
17 all his life.
I mean, he's seen 17 really bad years then. Because he looks terrible for 17.
17 all my life.
Juvenile court.
No, he ain't chewing gum. You can't be chewing gum in a facility like that. Look how clean that is. Imagine. He's just chewing on his tongue and gums or something.
What is he watching?
I don't know. It's very weird, and then it's very odd. Like with the magistrate at the pace that he keeps here, they must see at least 5 people a day in 3 hours.
I mean, he is obviously getting paid by the hour.
I would think yes.
He's doing a face though, like he's a groundskeeper on Caddyshack. I mean,
but it would appear that he's having a conversation.
why is it not picking it up?
I don't know. I'm very confused because the mic is on, unless he's just mouthing things to.
I can't wait to get back in there with you.
So this
You
guy,
think he's talking, he's just moving it.
poor man Dave Mustaine. Is that what you're saying?
I thought about that too. Delete, 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 delete.
Walter. Seeing this guy walking towards you in a dark alley or out in the woods somewhere. Jesus Christ.
Maybe in a pub.
See,
I don't know what's going on here.
John Wood, 865-675-4830.
Oh, he's getting confused by numbers.
Oh, yeah.
675-4830. Somebody writing that down for you?
Not me.
Okay.
I got a pen, but I didn't know I needed to.
You got another pen.
Ray Jenkins, did you get that?
Sharon Frankenberger?
Look at the trustees back there. Well, that's a woman I seen walking around.
Oh, that's not a woman.
Little waive administrative fee.
She's a hottie.
That's a prison woman.
Oh,
I'm not going to charge you an administrative fee.
Huh?
An administrative fee.
17, I believe. George.
You can charge me all you want, but you're not going to get it.
All right, let's talk about bail.
Things move a little slower in the South.
Yes, sir.
I
Rich, this is your dad. I
Got to set bail.
Hey, Bob. Let's talk about bail, Bob. Gotta take you to Taco Tico. when
Bail
we
on
get
a
out, Bob.
sexual battery charge is $10,000.
Look at the face. Hey, never
I
say
can't hear
that
him.
much money, Yana.
ROR. Drug paraphernalia, ROR. Disorderly conduct, ROR.
Well, he's giving them
Exposure,
ORs on everything.
$10,000.
Up to 11K, I believe. I think he said 1,000 for that.
Showing your ding-a-ling.
Well,
$2.
Resisting arrest is ROR.
Well, you're getting off on a lot there.
Yeah.
The court date is going to be September the 26th.
Do you understand? No.
Next Monday.
Where do you think you'll be? Make sure you show
up. Questions?
Questions?
I was hoping I could get OR.
Bet
Not
you
on
were.
a felony sexual battery charge.
I ain't got no sexual charge. I wasn't doing nothing, no sexual charge. I didn't do anything. I was just sitting there. I wasn't doing nothing.
I'm just telling you what the officer charged.
I was only sitting there. No, I know what you're saying.
I
I
hear.
was sitting there.
I was just watching.
Well, that's
They
something,
wrestled.
that's something for you and Mr. Wood to talk about when you get together in court.
So how much, you said I play a ball?
$11K.
Yes, I've already been through that. It's a total of $11,000.
All right, here you go. Head over to that slaughter.
Okay.
Yeah, you're done unless you have questions for him. Do you have any questions?
Is there anything else that I need to know?
You got a court date, you got a lawyer, you got your bail, so there you go.
What a great
All right, over
exit.
to that slaughter. Come on up.
Boy, he
You
just.
don't
He,
speak the best English.
oh
Can
no.
you tell me who won Survivor season
We've already
47?
We've already tried it once.
You already tried him once?
Yeah, he didn't understand what I'm saying.
Okay, I didn't know.
I hope he doesn't say anything inappropriate here.
You'll have to go to court or you'll have to get a translator.
Adios, amigos.
Try to get a translator tonight at 8 o'clock.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Scram, hombre.
Wow. All right. Well, Knox bringing it.
He might know by November
Over
what direction.
Very quick before we jump into this, the Taco Tico thing, Kay, that the soundbite that he
November
plays is
7th at 9
Richard
a.m. we'll have
Stab,
your
the Howard
section
Stern
with us.
show. And there's
In the meantime,
Taco Tico.
you're not allowed
Tico,
to
bud.
drive, sir. You understand that?
I like the Knox one. That's interesting there.
Gave it up, sold it. My wife tried to be around up.
All right, so we got all these. We got one person in courtroom still. We're waiting on these people.
As many cases of this.
Does
that I
this look
see,
familiar
I don't
to
know.
you?
I
This
wonder if
Derek
people even
one with the thing on the ceiling?
recognize where the licenses are issued.
I'll have to
You,
see
you
it.
had this kind of attorney?
Yes, babe. I
It's
wouldn't let you
obviously a
go here with the
trailer.
camera on. That's kind of slow, ain't it, babe?
Michael was driving.
Commuter?
Yes, I did. Keep going, Judge. We got
I think
All right.
Tony
Mr. Aguilar.
Jones and
It's true.
I'm serious. don't
Michael
drive.
are
You get
long
busted
lost
for
brothers.
driving.
There she is, telling him to keep moving it on because we got a lot to do today,
This is not,
Judge.
the sentencing will not go well. You
I always
understand?
love that. I gotta get my Mountain Dew up here.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Let's give him his paperwork. Thank you. All right.
She's ready to go.
Notice to appear.
I'm gonna have them send it. I don't
Okay.
have any help and we have like 40 people listening.
All right.
Damn, she's telling him.
Oh,
I don't
wait.
have any help.
Ms.
Get a bunch of
Gibson's
people,
ready to
let's
come
go.
back on. Is she ready to go back on?
You ready?
Did you get your phone calls made, ma'am? Okay. Yeah, I did write down on that. Okay, sorry, while I'm in here.
Call who?
Call who?
Remember how they don't let them use their phone?
Oh, yeah.
No, this
All right,
is
back to the record.
live right now.
All right. And City of Hunt versus Guest. So you made your phone call to your employer?
Yes.
Okay. And who else did you want to call? That's it?
Dick
All right,
Brown, everybody in the courtroom.
Well, this is what I'm gonna do. I think I had held 18 days in abeyance. So I am going to have you serve them. I'm gonna suspend 9 of them. Okay? So that would mean you have to serve 9 days. And there really ain't gonna be a full 9 days because of the day for day, okay? So once you have a C over there,
Maybe.
and I need to.
A lot of
amend-
these
an
people look
amended
familiar
judgment
today for
so I
some
can
reason.
Write on there that the jail sentence is suspended 9 days.
Well, Creed's got a tan. Maybe that's it. He was out in the sun a little today or this weekend. So Plus, he's dressed in black, and that doesn't help. Just doesn't bring out his eyes like they used to.
Yeah. I have a question.
Yeah.
When I get out of jail, what's gonna happen? It's gonna be on probation.
So,
It's gonna be over.
yeah.
Awesome. Send me to jail right now. Marcus, good to see you back, bud. I like that Creed went to get his Mountain Dew and then disappeared. And I'm pretty sure he's outside checking the traffic and the weather already. 25 minutes in. If you're new here, give this video a like. Go to Zoom Court, watch different cases. We try to do our best not to talk on anything. We are not lawyers, but we do like to have a good time. Like to party. Again, very slow day over here with the judge. He's taking his time, making everybody wait. Did he get up and walk away? Nope, he's still there. Okay, I see his hands. A lot of people can get yelled at. Anybody wearing a hat? I see no hats. But Derek looks very familiar. His background.
Yeah, because I'm amending her sentence of.
She's been on
oh,
tour.
it's 9 days. She may have day for day.
She opened for the Stones the other night.
So she'll.
Yeah, house got bigger. Took me forever to get that too. It was really my intentions. And then I saw the clock and I was like, it is pretty close. Well,
Close enough, right?
close enough.
As usual,
Oh, I got it right on probation terminated.
Judge Marvell taking his time.
Well, he really is. So I'm thinking we might want to.
I'm going to keep this up, but if there's someone we can pop to till he really digs in.
Begin with what seems to be the most obvious, which is Ms. Redden's assertion that
Oh, is she going to give us a psychic reading?
In August.
Nice fan.
In fact,
That
an
is a nice
order
fan.
Was issued on August.
I hope it's not
15th that does
on.
address the request for extension. It says that request was denied. There's no similar finding or order in regards to a placement change. I would also point out that at that time, Ms. Ramey was not represented by counsel, and at none of the hearings, not just this hearing, but none of the permanency review hearings that have been held in this case during its pendency for more than a year has Ms. Ramey even been permitted to speak in the hearing, much less provide testimony.
Shells is turned on
In
as well,
regards
I
to the
think.
response regarding, in regards to the concerns regarding discovery, Ms. Ramey and her husband are the subject of a CPS conducted home study that gets into the nitty gritty of the
Oh,
family.
no.
They have been to the house.
This
They have
woman is really the Boggy
house.
Creek
They have done criminal and CPS
legend
background checks
herself.
on Ms. Ramey and all of the members of
Lives
her
on the
home.
swamp right next to
They have
Janelle
gone
from
to the house,
Teen
they
Mom.
have taken pictures of the house. And under the discovery control plan, there is nothing additional that they would be entitled to obtain. The only evidence that we are offering and that have been uploaded into the box that isn't part of the department's own record is in fact pictures of my client and her grandchild that were actually taken at the department offices. In regards to
It's
the
not
lack
doing
of an
well.
affidavit is not required for substantial past contact between a grandparent and their grandchild. It is well established in Texas law and in case law throughout multiple jurisdictions that the substantial past contact required under the provisions of the Texas Family Code for intervention by a grandparent or other person apply to the other person, not to grandparents. Grandparents, by their own biological and familiar connection with a child,
Familiar.
are able
Familiar.
to file their own petitions for managing conservatorship and intervene in cases brought by others. One of those limitations, however, is that there has to be a significant impairment. Your Honor, there's also case law that establishes that significant impairment has to be found when the original petition was filed. When this original petition was filed, not only was there an affidavit supplied by the court, by the department, that was signed to by the department, it served as the basis for the removal of this child. And there are actual judicial findings that were made by a court in Travis County that the parents were not safe and appropriate parents, and that the child therefore should be placed into the temporary managing conservatorship of the department. In regards to the objections regarding filing within 3 days, Your Honor, my clients are of limited means. They are not wealthy people. They were finally able to gather the money and retain me Monday, a week ago today.
All those
We were able
bastards.
to file this as soon as we were able. And Your Honor, there's also case law from this
Love it.
very Third Court of Appeals that say that local rules, specifically local rules that require filing
Love
before
it.
10 days and that requires leave of court, local rules do not trump the Texas Rules of Civil Procedure, nor do they trump case law.
How many steps a day do you think she's getting on
Which is
that watch?
also well established in
Wrong.
the state of Texas, that intervention at any time
Oh,
prior
Deborah.
to the rendition of an order is deemed
China.
timely. There have been cases where intervention has occurred 6 days after the trial was completed and the case was under advisement, and courts have determined that that is an acceptable and timely thing, timely intervention. There was a case in Third Court of Appeals, state
I wish
v.
you'd have
Miller.
wore all green.
State of Texas tried to intervene after the rendition of an order.
Just a
There's
floating
whole
bishop
litany of
head.
Case law that is very clear. Any time prior to the rendition of
Could she
the
elbow that fan? You think it looks very close to her.
It is very
State v. Naylor went against the state. State got kicked.
right, because they tried to intervene
As the judge.
after the final order had been issued. So that's from the
Sure.
Third Court of Appeals that says
Oh, no, I
basically,
remember
if
that case. I was
if
on
you-
that case.
if you
I remember
would have done it, if you would have done it before the rendition, then you would have been okay. But because you did it after the rendition, you were too late.
Let's go, baby.
There's been others
It's good to see Rosie O'Donnell getting
that
work.
have held that, occurring 6 days after the trial, but while it was under advisement, it was fine. Filed after the trial, another one filed after the trial.
Did she just tell the judge that he did something wrong, right? I'm understanding that
So-
right.
The intervention at this point is imperative for my client because in order to file a modification, as Ms. Fajardo said, she could file her own modification after this is done. And she could.
I love it.
But Your Honor, in order to file a modification within a year after an order, we have to show that there's, I can't remember, basically a significant injury to the child or that their current placement impairs their physical health or emotional development. We would have to allege that this child is being so injured in foster
Bishop Court,
that the
where
department
everybody's way too close to the camera.
to stop. The department is willing to agree that yes, being in foster care with a unrelated foster parent is dangerous to a child and would agree to our standing, then we can back away and we can have this fight another day. However, I doubt that they are going to do that and allow us to intervene.
Oh, yeah, the IHOP's coming
allow us
up.
to proceed on a modification. So despite what Ms.
Maybe Waffle
Fajardo
House.
says,
Probably more. than
modification after the fact is not a realistic way for my client to ensure that her rights to her grandchild
My
are in
poor
fact
client.
protected. And it
My destitute,
despite the fact that
unemployable client.
state law and policy that mandates that relatives shall take preference in regards to placement, but because my client has not even ever been able to speak at a trial, much less one that was reportedly set to talk about a change in placement, no one involved in this case is going to work to preserve her rights. So could she have brought any part of it in her own name? Yes, she can. She had maintained hope since December of 2021 when her relative home study was approved for placement by the department, that the department was going to follow the federal
Twice.
state law as well as best
Get your money's worth,
practices
bud.
and place her granddaughter in her care. That has not happened. So she hoped
man.
that the department
I'm a whore.
did what
Of
it was
course I will.
supposed to do. She hoped that the advocates would follow the law, and it has not happened. So it's not going to complicate the case, Your Honor. In fact, there's actually a statute, 263 I think it's 504, which actually says if you don't terminate parental rights, you cannot appoint the department as
Is
manager.
this a filibuster?
unless
Why
you
is she
find
nonstop
that the
talking? The
relative
judge
is
isn't
inappropriate.
slowing her down at
You're
all.
going to have to look.
I was
at
gonna
that.
say, I'll give her credit.
You're going to
I mean,
have to
thankfully
consider
that she
whether the
has her
purpose
shit together as a
placement
lawyer
to be
much better than she does with her
whether they're
green
parties or
screen
not. And
situation.
as history has shown, none of the parties here are going to put on that argument. The next thing
Here
Your
in
Honor,
the
is
crick.
whether or not we would cause a delay. We are ready to go. We
Did
are
I
ready
mention my
to
client
delay with
has never spoken in court?
We do not need discovery from the
Not
department.
once.
We do not need to add anything. The only additional witness that we intend to call, Your Honor, is my client. And as a placement, and as it is required finding that if the parental rights are not terminated, you have to rule out relatives, I would argue that that is somebody that you would want to and need to hear from before you make your ultimate decision. However, if the department complains that my intervention on Friday doesn't allow them enough time for discovery, we can stop and we can start again, but it will not be because of me. It will be because of the department. And Your Honor, I would ask you to look at the discovery control plan in this case. There is nothing in addition to the petition that I've already filed that explains what my client wants that we would need to provide. We would need to provide documents. The only document that we have
You
is
think she's on a boat?
we have pictures.
JJ, JJ,
of those in consideration if that would satisfy the department's request. Your Honor, we are ready. We believe that the intervention is appropriate, that it is timely, and that we should be allowed to participate in this proceeding.
Intervention.
Are they keep?
All right, Ms. Redden, any reply on your end?
Yes,
Someone
Your Honor.
addressed you.
God, I hope
Thank
so.
you. Briefly, so as I stated earlier, this has been heard before. Ms. Harding has said that no parties have spoken up on behalf of her client so far, which is untrue, considering the respondent father's attorney,
Liar.
the one who had the motion on file for
She
placement,
said it the
and was the one
second
who
I put it
presented
up.
evidence of that placement in a hearing. Ms. Ramey would have been given the opportunity to testify on that day if the respondent father who had that motion on file called her to the stand. However, she was present for the hearing and placement was not ordered to her, and that would have been the perfect time for her to intervene. She has had every opportunity to intervene before our trial was begun weeks ago. An affidavit is not required for substantial past conduct, but there were still no facts alleged by the interveners that the department's permanency plan would significantly impair the child. This
She needs
child
an
has been in
Invisalign.
foster care for a year. More than that, she's extremely bonded to her foster parents. And I don't want to get into the majority of the argument there.
Either that or
But
she's got to cover it up with
There's
a
nothing to
mustache.
show that the department's permanency
Hi,
plan
Courtney.
would be a significant impairment.
Courtney.
And Texas Rule of Civil Procedure 63 allows parties to file these pleas as they desire by filing it with the clerk at such a time not to operate as a surprise to the opposite party. You heard
Surprise.
Ms. say that this client hired her on Monday. She
Oh,
did
so
not give
it's a
any other party
surprise.
the warning that this was happening until Friday, which gave us less than one business day to prepare for an entire new person in this trial, to prepare testimony as to why we would not want placement with there, or why we do believe that what we're doing is in the best interest in light of this intervention. And it did not give us enough plan to prepare for this hearing. And it does not seem fair to the rest of the parties to have to, on a moment's notice, change their entire trial plan because an intervention was done after trial had begun and well after when it would have been timely.
Please slow down for future reference.
Yes, Ms. Redden, please slow down a little bit.
Her slow down.
All right, so I am going to grant the request to strike the plea and intervention. Even though it brings me absolutely no pleasure, Ms. Harding, the trial was already underway and it's a little bit late.
Just a little late.
Hey, Jeff.
I know you're getting in as fast as you can, but Ms. Ramey,
Did you go see the Queen?
sooner in order for us to have everyone here and ready to be able to move on and proceed. And with that, we will proceed with Ms. Redden, who will, Ms. Harding, question?
Your Honor, I anticipate before the conclusion of evidence in this case, I will be filing my own petition for managing conservatorship. And I'm assuming that the department, I don't know how they're going to handle it, but seeing as how all have been timely filed,
Hey, little thing.
we're gonna have to figure out how we can solve
I'm
it.
sure hard to handle now.
Complication. I don't know if that's something you want held on your docket or we need to move back to the CPS docket.
I don't know either. I'm gonna figure that out at the break. That may have to come to me because this is with me. I don't know. We'll figure that out at the break, at the next break. So,
By the way, did anybody
Ms. Redden, you are welcome to go ahead and
look
proceed.
at the judge's name?
Thank you, Your Honor. May Miss
Was
Ramey
it
and I excuse?
Glove?
Cleve?
Thank
And
you,
Your
Ms.
Honor, I
Harding.
don't know if
Cleve
the rule
Doty.
has been invoked or anyone intends to call Miss Ramey as a witness, but if they do, I'd ask that you contact me. She is at work today and we will have to coordinate that.
Wasn't he on that tattoo show?
Okay, I think you put everyone on notice. As far as I know, the rule has
Ink
not
Masters.
been invoked yet. It's my recollection. We barely got started last time. So, thank you, Miss Harding.
Thank you.
I just can't believe that he said that to the
Okay,
other one,
Ms.
not
Redden, you are welcome to
Harding.
proceed.
Slow
Thank you, Your
down.
Honor, and I will try
Her.
very hard to remember to go slowly.
I didn't think she was going
Your
that
Honor,
fast.
this
Did
case has
you?
been
I-
open since June
compared to the-
of last year.
I think it's
The
BS.
department received a total of 9 intakes regarding domestic violence between March and June of 2021. These intakes included allegations that the respondent father assaulted the respondent mother in a parking lot, threw rocks through her window and broke it, threatened her life with statements like she should get beat down, and the last referral to
Deserved that
come in
beat
also
down.
alleged violence against the child, who was found to have bruises along her backside. At
Wrong.
this point, the department
Don't
is
do
not convinced that the parents have ended their relationship, and there's still a serious concern of ongoing domestic violence. Dad had moved into the apartment complex that mom was living in, and we had reason to believe that she was living in his apartment rather than the one with her mother, as she stated, up until the point that Mr. Levering was arrested and is now incarcerated, as you can see. Both parents have had extremely minimal contact with their daughter and very inconsistent visits. Both respondent parents have failed to submit to many drug tests. They've been positive on the ones they have completed. Respondent mother did not complete
Sure,
her
Gary.
protective parenting classes, her second OSAR, her recommendations from her first OSAR, or her domestic violence classes and individual therapy. Respondent father has not done nurturing parenting, the recommendations of his OSAR, the recommendations of his psych eval, the batterer's intervention program, or consistently engaged in his individual therapy. Neither parent has fully engaged in a single service provided to them and have not been following the orders of this court. In fact, when the respondent parents joined a motion for an extension in this case a few weeks ago, Judge Martinez-Jones denied the extension due to their lack of engagement and the lack of any extenuating circumstances that prevented them from engaging throughout this case up to that point. Additionally, the respondent father was arrested about a week before we were planning to proceed at the end of August for unlawful carrying of a weapon, and he is currently incarcerated. It's my understanding that there are other pending charges, including evading arrest, violation of a protective order, assault and family violence, and out-of-county felonies. Respondent father is clearly not in a place where he can provide for his child. He and respondent mother have made very minimal efforts to engage in services or communicate with the department throughout this case.
Is this the same case?
Neither of the parents have prioritized this child
I
or
don't
shown
think so.
effort to have her return to their care at all. Mr. Levering has not seen the child since June, and Miss Russell has not visited her child since May, and it is now September.
Well,
Elias,
those all sound like good things because it sound like they're pieces of
all
shit.
of her needs are
True.
being met, and she's a happy child. The foster parents wish to adopt her, and the department is here today to request the termination of the parental rights of the respondent parents so that Elia may find that permanency with her foster family. Thank you.
Got the rock going through the window.
Couple quick
Yeah.
questions,
That sounds.
Redden. I know it's opening, but you might as well ask now. You say there are other pending charges, but have those actually been filed? I usually take that to mean there's some the state anticipates bringing, but they haven't been brought yet.
I have actually not gotten an update for that since our last trial started, so that information on pending charges is what I had from the end of August. I believe the respondent father's attorney should be able to give more updated information if something has changed.
Fair enough. I take it he's not in jail on a conviction, he's there on an arrest.
Yes, that is correct at this time.
Mr. Reaver shaking his head, yes. I assume, they're not that fast over there. So, all right. And let's hear from Mr. Zuniga.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Dave.
My client loves her daughter very much, and would rather that her rights not be terminated. It would be her position, whether I can present evidence on that is questionable, but it's her position.
Wait.
She's not in a relationship.
Sorry, Mr. Zuniga, we missed a few words there. If you could slow down a little bit and
Heard him just fine.
Yes, Your Honor, I apologize.
Here's who's talking.
My client loves her daughter very much and would rather that you not terminate her rights, Your Honor. It is her position.
That's the dad.
That she
It's
is
the
not
dad in question.
with Mr. Levering. Fortunately, she has reached out to the
Weird
foster
uncles.
parents, and
The weirdest.
she's very pleased with them as caretakers for her child. I think that if she had her druthers, she would rather that Your Honor deny the termination to terminate her parental rights, but allow the foster parents to continue to care for her child. She would actually, in a worst case scenario, prefer that her rights be terminated and that the foster parents be allowed to adopt over Ms. Harding's proposal of allowing the paternal grandmother to be able
So yeah,
to
this is the same case.
take custody of the child, even if that would allow my client to maintain her parental rights, because my client believes she has a better relationship with the foster parents than she does with the paternal grandmother. And so that would be her request, Your Honor.
fair enough. Thank you, Mr. Zuniga. I thank your client for really clarifying her position. Mr. Weaver,
I have your Weaver.
you're on mute though.
Oh, dream weaver.
You're still on. There we go.
There we are.
Oh God.
Thank you, Your Honor.
What's wrong with it?
One thing we would note.
Does he run a
is
funeral
that,
Yeah, 'cause he's
a
been
lot of
dead
allegations.
6 months.
She mentions charges. What she doesn't have, and we believe they will have difficulty establishing, is clear and convincing evidence. And again, this is a termination case. They're asking for an extreme remedy, so their burden is a little higher than it might be in an ordinary civil action. They have to have clear and convincing evidence of all these things they are alleging. And we don't believe, we think it will at a minimum be difficult for them to provide the clear and convincing evidence of any of the bases, of any basis of termination in the statutes. They also, of course, have to prove by clear and convincing evidence that termination would be in the best interest of the child. But I'll notice one comment that Ms. Redden said that there was bruising on the back. In this case, the department knows that that was checked out at a hospital and that those were Mongolian spots. It was Mr. Levering who first raised.
What's the Mongolians got to do with this?
Bruising while he was in the care
They make good barbecue.
a friend of Ms. Russell. And he was the one that insisted on the child going to the hospital. It was checked out. They were Mongolian spots. We believe there'd be no evidence of physical harm to this child, Your Honor. And we simply believe there will not be the clear and convincing evidence necessary for a termination. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you for that, Mr. Weaver. And I will add that I am very aware of the standard and take parental rights very seriously. All right, Ms. Jones-Hardo.
Yes, Your Honor. I am aligned with the department in their request for termination of parental rights. I believe that there will be more than enough clear and convincing evidence for many of the grounds, including the parent's failure to engage in their court-ordered services at a minimum. I also believe that the evidence will show that it is in my client's best interest for the parent's rights to be terminated so that she may have permanency with the individuals who have been caring for her, for whom she has created a very positive bond and under whose care she has flourished. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jones-O'Hardo. And with that, I think we are ready for the evidence. So, Ms. Redden, you have any witnesses?
Oh, damn.
Thank you, Your Honor. I would start off with.
I will invoke the rule or ask that the rule be.
Okay, fair enough. All right. So since the rule has been invoked, I will now instruct all counsel to make your any witnesses, potential witnesses.
I mean, come on, man.
It was so good.
I
nailed it. These new markers are heaven
What
sent.
that means for you is that you are not to discuss the trial with anyone else or the testimony in the trial with anyone else. That includes the parties, even though the parties are able to remain present throughout the trial. You're not to discuss the testimony with any witnesses who may be coming to the trial. Any witnesses who are now live watching us on YouTube need to disconnect from this proceeding and not watch any further and await further instructions from counsel.
That makes me want to watch more. I don't think he's talking to us.
To connect to
I don't think he's talking to us either.
via Zoom in order to actually testify, but you are not allowed to watch any portion of the proceedings yourself. So with that,
Your
counsel,
Honor.
I'm instructing all of you to make your witnesses aware. Go ahead, Mr. Zuniga.
I apologize, Your Honor. In the event that my client is listening in on YouTube, I
So
want to clarify.
your client, that's perfectly right, Mr. Zuniga, and I hope she hasn't disconnected. But Mr. Zuniga's client may, Ms. Russell may watch the proceedings since she is a party, not just a witness, but a party to the proceedings. So the department may watch, Mr. Zuniga's client, Ms. Russell may watch, Mr. Weaver's client, Mr. Levering is obviously here with us watching, and it is okay for them to sit through and watch the entire proceeding.
We're watching, too.
Zuniga is correct.
I mean, is that okay, Judge?
To mention that, but all other witnesses are required to disconnect and not.
No, we're
watch
not witnesses.
Further,
We just
Mr.
witness
If you want to take a moment, since I gave that announcement the wrong or incomplete way first, make sure she's still able to view or connect. She's
Deborah, did you get the
obviously able to
last
connect
one?
to the Zoom at any point.
Last one was a doozy.
It was.
Well, go ahead and allow you a moment to do that. And with that out.
Your
Go
Honor, I understand that Mr. Schroeder, Sean Schroeder, will be the representative for the department. So he'll be attending from what I understand. Ms. Redden may want to clarify that. And also Wesley, I understand that she's going to be attending the trial on behalf of Marty and Costa. And I want to
Do we want to stay with this
Your Honor, for
or?
clarity, Sean Schroeder is going
That's
to
a tough one, man.
represent my client, the department.
That's a tough one.
This is going
I
to
don't know.
Volunteer who is currently not in the courtroom, and her supervisor.
What do you guys think of the
Meredith Lester,
chat?
will
You want
reach
to
out to her when it's time for her to
hear
log
some
into
evidence
Zoom
and see
so
where
that
this
she may just-
goes, or do we want
So
to
the rules
jump
are
to
to be
something
followed
that's
on
not
our
so
end.
long?
Sounds good. You're usually on point, so just checking. All right. And with that, Ms. Redden, we are ready for your first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm going to start out with Sean Schroeder.
All right, Mr. Schroeder, if you will raise your right hand, please. I'll get you sworn in.
We either can stick with this or we can go back to
Truth so help you God.
Yes, Your Honor.
All
Herman.
right.
Hey, who are you?
Sir, Ms.
Schroeder.
Some of the
Schroeder.
Attorneys will have some questions for you.
Yeah, I kind of,
Could you please state your name for the record?
I think that
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, I didn't realize that it was a long play. I didn't realize that it was that. So let's do it. Yeah. What do you got, Judge Marble?
Yeah, he's back.
Marble.
We're going back on this.
Also need to fix this quality. Thanks a lot, YouTube.
We gave him a new date.
Yeah, you're right.
Aguilar.
David Henry visiting us from, I think, the basement.
Yeah, that one needs a notice mailed.
If this ain't moving, we got licking.
Jump to licking.
You want to?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank
I don't
God
know
we
why.
did.
Such a great looking dude.
Stansbury's reading up on him. You know, when the Christmas season isn't around and he falls on hard times and ain't got no work, you know, Licking County's very own Santa has to find something to do. And sometimes it's trouble. That's what he gets into with his nicotine stained beard.
Lee, Merry Christmas, you filthy animal.
The pen is mightier than the sword. That's a doozy of a shiner, by the way.
Who do you think beat up Santa?
Krampus.
I mean, it could be. I guess. Great movie. Stansbury with his paperwork.
Yeah,
he's thorough.
He is nothing but that.
All right, Mr.
Santa.
Nick
Harris, here's what I'm going to do.
Harris.
I'm going to release you on your own recognizance, meaning you're going to sign some paperwork promising to show up for future court dates. It's not going to be required or necessary for you to post any bond in order to be released, but your release on your own recognizance is on one condition. You're not to have any contact with either Clyde Duff or Barbara Everett. Now, I understand you guys may live in close proximity to one another. That just means that if you're outside and they come out, you got to go back in. If you're inside and you go out and they're there, you have to go back in or leave, but you can't be in the same area where they are. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
This case will be randomly assigned to a judge and set for a trial. Until and unless you get a lawyer, we're going to send the notices to you. So make sure your address is correct on your paperwork when you sign it
Yes.
down there. You can apply for a lawyer if you like. They have the forms at the jail, but since I'm releasing you, it'll be your job to turn it in. It's very important that if you want to get a lawyer, you don't wait until the day of your trial to deal with that. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any other questions today, Mr. Everett?
No, sir.
Very well. You may go with the officer. Thank
You
you.
captured the
Okay.
under eye perfect.
You're welcome.
That mask, I felt like the mask was
Gregory Smith.
perfect too.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Smith. You're here because, why are you here? You're here because you got a charge filed against you, it looks like.
Why are you here?
No, you've already addressed this once with Judge George, and it was assigned to him, and it looks like a warrant went out.
Yes, sir.
I accidentally appeared for trial earlier this month. So, what we're
This
going
guy
to
looks familiar.
Simply going to go ahead and set a bond for you, and then
He
get a
does.
new court date with Judge George. Your probation officer has placed a holder on you as well, though. Did you know that?
I figured so, sir. If I could, my court
I'm
date.
interested to hear why you didn't make it to court.
Okay, I just between my making it to my probation officer, my phone breaking, I didn't realize I even had court on that day. I did, however, reach out to David A. Barth about my jury trial because I kept getting continued. I called him 3 times and never got through to him. But I did show up twice to jury trials, even though they got continued both times. And honestly, I've been trying to make my court dates, and I'm sorry I didn't make this one. That's all I had to say.
Now,
Sorry's good enough.
You must have more than one case because Mr. Barth is not the attorney of record on this. So if you want him to be, you got to fill out a new application on this one, okay?
I've never gotten through to him. I've never met him, so I wouldn't
Yeah,
mind.
if you don't want him, then just
not
put
being
down
my attorney.
not Mr. Barth at the top of your application. But if you want to get a lawyer, you got to apply for one on this case. There isn't one yet. All right?
I did. I just filled one out. I meant to fill one out while I was out last time, and I just never did. I thought my CPO was going to be dropped. To be honest,
Well, let's not get into the CPO right now. That'll be more appropriate at your next court date with Judge George. I'm going to honor his judgment. When he issued the warrant to arrest, he had the bond at $2,500, cash surety or 10%. I'm going to leave it in that amount with the added condition that you abide by any CPO that's in effect. So if there's no CPO, you don't have to worry about it. If there is one, you have to follow it and obey it. This will get sent back over to Judge George and set fairly quickly. So if you want to get a lawyer, you said you already filled one out. That should come through pretty quickly. Do you have any questions?
yes, Your Honor.
Yes, he does.
I'm
He's a talker.
under the impression that there's contacts wanted with me, that maybe there's some hoops I'm supposed to jump through before the contact's set. I've been told the CPOs, they've already put in a motion to revoke it. And to be honest, it's really confusing not knowing whether or not what you're supposed to do to get things dropped, to work things out with your wife and whatever. But like,
work things out with your wife.
I don't know what steps I'm supposed to take, and that's why I just applied for an attorney. I'm hoping somebody can be some sort of middleman to find out what I'm supposed to do.
That's what a lawyer's for, no?
Meanwhile, the person still cares or loves me, and I'm supposed to do some things before
Lawyer.
the CPO gets dropped, and she's putting the motion to drop the CPO, but hasn't heard anything back. So
Well,
what
that's
do
just the thing, though, Mr. Smith. You got to wait for the process to run its course. And that person who has the protection order does not have the authority to grant you permission to be in violation of it.
Does Stansberry have a court
They say,
reporter?
"Hey, don't worry about it. I'm not going to call the cops, whatever." It's still a violation. Okay.
Which I get that, but that person is like someone that like it's hard for me to function without. And like if that person was contact with me, I would like very much for the courts to understand that like that's probably more helpful than not
Stop
helpful.
crying.
And I'm down to do
As
whatever
long
it
as the
takes.
protection order is
Next
in place
appearance,
Right
cry.
now, you're going to have to deal with that. Now that may change down the road, but that's a lot of bridges that we haven't come to cross just yet. So get the attorney, work with the attorney. I'm sure they're going to be
I
more.
think
than
it's
willing
harder to
give
get
you legal
a
advice about how
CPO
you-
dropped than to get it in the first place.
For now, this is a
Hmm.
serious offense. You know, carries up
Yeah.
to 6 months in jail. You need to make sure you get this taken care of.
I'd imagine.
So, any other questions today?
Yes, Your Honor. It's so it's causing a lot of mental health issues and stress, and like to the point where I have self-inflicted cuts down my wrist and.
Oh, nice.
Just before I got arrested, the officer chased me onto a rooftop where I tried to hang myself. Like I'm not all right when I say I'm not able to function sometimes because I'm not allowed to contact, but yet I'm supposed to. It's caused me a lot of stress.
So with that
I would
all-
like to have some type of help.
If any of that is true, then he
Make
does
sure
kind
you
of
send a kite to the medical department
need
down there,
somebody.
and they can follow up with
Yeah.
a psychologist or some other health professional. Okay.
Okay.
All right. For now, Mr. Smith, I'll have you go with the officer. Thank you.
He should have like a 48-hour hold somewhere.
All right.
That
and
too,
we have,
yes.
A
lawyer in a 48-hour hold.
Upreti.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, sir. Are you Mr. Upreti?
Yes, sir.
Awfully
Is that how you
short.
pronounce your last name?
Well,
Yes.
Okay.
he doesn't have
Um,
any
Mr.
shins,
Upreti,
Creed.
Do you understand your rights in court today?
I'm sorry.
Did you understand your rights in court today based on watching the video?
I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
And did you receive a copy of your traffic ticket?
Yes.
Do you understand that you've been cited for operating a vehicle while impaired?
Pew pew.
Also operating a vehicle with a prohibited concentration of alcohol in your system and also driving left of center?
Mm-hmm.
Now, they're alleging that your test result was above
Now, left of
0.17.
center.
That serves to double any mandatory minimum jail term you might face if you were to plead guilty or be convicted. You understand that?
Yes, I'm guilty.
All right. How do you want to plead?
He said a geety.
I'm sorry, sir.
He's
How do you wish
geety.
to plead? Not guilty, guilty, or no
He's
contest?
geety.
Guilty.
Geety.
Now, guilty plea, because they're alleging that this is a third offense within a 10-year period, the mandatory minimum jail term for you would be 60 days in jail. Meaning, if I gave you the minimum, if I accept your plea here today and I enter convictions and I sentence you, even if I give you the minimum that I have to give you, that's at least 60 days. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
It could be up to 1 year. The fine could be up to 2,000. Let me double check that real quick. The fine could be up to $2,750, but the minimum fine is $850. There's a mandatory license suspension that can be between 2 years and 12 years. Do you understand all that?
Okay.
The driving left of center charge is a minor misdemeanor. The maximum penalty there is a fine of up to $150. Do you understand that?
The rope was way too
You have the
long.
right to have a lawyer with you at all times. If you can hire one if you like. You're
Chased him
eligible
up
to
to
ask
the
the
roof.
court to give you one for free.
It's just too long, Creed. He was just standing on the
Lawyer will
ground.
be able to
I
talk to you about
tried
whether or not you have a
to
defense.
hang myself. I ain't never heard anybody try to hang themselves. Not
Motions that
be
could
successful.
file for you that would
Come on,
improve your
man.
circumstances. And in general, try to get you the best possible outcome. Would you like to have a lawyer on this? It's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, from the government lawyer.
Okay, let's go ahead and do that. What's your address?
Do you have a job?
525 Fenton Drive, Pataskala, Ohio.
So we missed the part. This is third time.
Third offense.
You employed?
But I no, sir, I'm the take care of baby.
Okay, so you're a stay-at-home dad?
Stay at home, mom.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
He
How
is
old is your
geeky.
child?
20.
6 years.
Okay.
I'm a stay-at-home dad. How old is your kid? 20 years old.
And does your wife work?
No.
Yes, he's working.
Doctor.
Dentist. Driving blasted, left the center line, got him. Third time.
Little tipsy.
Okay, Mr. Upreti, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to release you on what's called your own recognizance. That means you're going to sign
Wow.
paperwork down there.
Really?
To show for future court dates. We will send you
Safe.
notice by mail of when those dates are going to be. So make sure your
I do.
address is also
3 times, I mean.
You've indicated you want to get a lawyer, so you can get the application form for a court-appointed lawyer there at the jail.
Sarge?
Since I'm releasing you.
How did we change this
Your
plea
responsibility-
already? Like we went from guilty twice.
I want to
So,
say,
all right. Stansbury talks him into getting a lawyer.
yeah, your one of your prior convictions was
So it's
in
got
Licking
to
County, so you should be somewhat familiar with the way things work here. Don't wait until the day your trial is supposed to take place to deal with getting an attorney. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, now you're going to be released on your own recognizance on 2 conditions. Number 1, you're not to consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. Number 2, you're to report to the probation department upon your release because I'm going to have an alcohol monitor. It's going to be required that you have one of those on your ankle to verify that you're following my rule not to drink. Now, your case itself is going to be randomly assigned to a judge.
How's he taking care of
an automatic right to a jury
this
trial?
kid and he's liquored up all the time?
You can waive your right to a jury trial down the road, but that's how it'll get set first. If you get a lawyer, all the notices go through the attorney. If you don't, all notices go to you. Either way, make sure you're prepared to deal with this the next time you come back to court. Do you understand?
Okay.
Do you have any other
And do you
questions today, sir?
understand? Yeah, you can be.
Your Honor,
Yeah.
I quickly asked him if, when he goes back to court, if he would prefer to have an attorney or an interpreter. Yeah, it's Nepali.
Okay.
And he seems to, I mean, he filled out his paper and stuff, but I think would be more.
Sure. Would you feel more comfortable next time, Mr. Upreti, if we have a person who speaks?
Has he got like the DTs? Is he like?
Yeah, I need the Nepali interpreter.
All right. I'll make sure that we make those arrangements. You don't have to
Yeah.
worry about that. That's something we will
That
take
could be
care of. All right.
withdrawal.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions today, Mr. Upreti?
No, thank you, sir.
All right. Anything else, Sue?
No, that's all. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. You have
Shit.
a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.
I think that's it. I don't think there's
We'll
anybody
see you
in
recess.
Yeah, that's it. All right.
Is he gonna cut it off? Look at him. Wow, we don't usually get to see this part.
Yeah, no kidding. Moving the monitor.
Any
Oh,
objection to the waiver of
What?
presence by Mr. Rusk on behalf
have you
of
ever seen them put up the?
No, Your Honor.
They actually
I'm
have the
no
text up
possession to
here.
Resetting this to resolve, and it's my
Oh, no,
understanding we
that's
have the agreement. There is a trial date set. That's
Hell of a
absolutely
view
correct.
out of
For,
Attorney Stemmick's place,
and
though.
if something happens,
beautiful.
In the
Kinda
meantime, we
jealous.
can always reset dates if necessary.
All right. What did you say, Bailey?
He's got that beautiful Knox hair.
Yes.
Oh, the clerk's saying we can set a date today. So how far out would you like your change of plea calendar here?
Whatever is regular course, Your Honor, at least 30 days. And I do have the
Gotta hang
attorney
out for a little
records
bit more.
calendar in front of me here. So
Oh
we have
shoot,
a
it's
few
already.
options.
I didn't
Yeah.
realize it was that late. Why
I'm
don't we
fine
wait?
hanging out for a little bit.
Yeah, we can hang out just a little bit longer.
What
Big
time would that
mini chase Monday today.
11 a.m.
A chase out of Baltimore City that happened 2 days ago. Creed,
That's fine, Your Honor.
Baltimore.
fresh off the griddle.
All right.
See
We'll
some of the
set
nice,
change of
burned
plea
out row
October
houses.
24th at 11 a.m.
Now we're on the highway a lot.
Oh,
Strike
And
the
can we-
current trial dates that are set.
Can we appear via Zoom for that hearing?
Yes.
Great.
Great.
hey,
Awesome.
I get that. I mean, it is so. I can't.
All
I
right,
can't imagine
Thank you. Have
how
a great
much
day.
easier it is just
Thanks,
to sit there in
Counsel.
front of a
Bye-bye. You too.
computer compared to be driving all around different towns.
Oh gosh,
I don't blame
All right,
you.
Mr.
It's a
Vanderhoff
blessing.
is here. I see Caitlin Lazarick is here as well.
Etta Smith.
Thank you, Your Honor. There are still 2 matters from the 10:30 docket.
Okay.
They are we start with Mr. Brady Miller. He's numbers 6, 7, 8.
Brady, the one that used to work at 99 Eggs?
I'm pretty
I
sure.
don't see him today.
All right.
Now works mornings in Richmond.
All right, so we're gonna call,
That's
I've got
correct.
4 matters.
Brady
They're all
in the
set for
morning.
Pre-trial, 2A00347764, 446490, 44890, and 448691. Oh, I see, one's the same.
Look at all
It
those
just hasn't
numbers
been
up on the
called over
screen.
twice. You're right, so 3 cases. Go ahead, Mr. Vanderboss, on Mr. Miller.
Thank you, Your Honor. So Mr. Miller is a client who has some special needs, but he has been keeping fairly decent contact with me. He has a pending
special needs
district court matter.
You can have her.
And he does have 4 matters. I
He has
just,
pending other matters, Your Honor, and I believe his attorney was or is Mr. Gearhart. Essentially, defense is requesting that this court set the case over for some kind of global, which will be spearheaded most likely by Mr. Gearhart. Over in Superior.
By the way, if you're over on Facebook, do us a favor, give this video a like. It helps us
okay.
out over there as
I'm
well.
still trying
Share it
let me
if
just-
possible.
Oh, I'm on the wrong case. I apologize.
I'm sorry, I misspoke. It's not Superior Court, it's district court. His attorney on the Thurston County matter is district court, Mr. Gearhart.
Okay, so you're wanting to set this over for a global resolution. And have you received any offers or had
Damn it,
any contact with
Mikey.
your client?
Yes, Your Honor. So he does contact me semi-regularly. I'm not sure why he's here today. I believe he did contact me about this court date and I gave him the information. So I'm not sure why he's not here, but it's not as though he is in the wind.
Well,
Okay,
I'm
Mr.
saying he
McClellan,
didn't
you wanna
come.
weigh
How do we
in
not
on,
know? He could be
Mr.
in the
Miller not
wind.
being present today and setting this over and
Could be in the
whether or
wind.
not we should set this over for a pre-trial change of plea or just set it for trial?
Well, yeah, and I also I see there are 4 cases. I kind of have the same double takes. There's a cause numbers are very close, very similar.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with Mr. Miller as well. I've had cases with him in the past. Given the information that Mr. Vandenboss has been in contact with them and discussed this case, I just ask that we notice non-appearance and reset pre-trials. I'd rather do that than set trials or even change a plea until we maybe have an agreement in place. But I think the intent would be at the next trial.
Chad
to
knows.
potentially have that global resolution and then set trial dates then.
All right.
I
Mr.
appreciate
Vanderboss,
that.
Can you
You're too
verify
kind.
Mr. Miller's address?
Yeah, no, I don't have an updated address for him.
Okay. Well, we have 5420 South L Street, Unit 2 in Tacoma, 98408.
Yes, Lisa. Yes.
So
yes.
we
yes.
send him notice. You have a working phone number for him to let him know when his next court date is?
Definitive answer.
You know, I was looking at my file. No, I don't. He has, I don't know, and I don't know why, because we have had phone contact. So I cannot give the court his phone number, but I can let the court know. that he
Creed
has
says, "You
called
want to stay a little longer?" I'm like,
at least 2
"Sure."
times.
Creed
I
leaves
gave him
me
this information, so
immediately.
He was planning to be here. I spoke with him on the 13th, which is 6 days ago.
All right. He does have an Olympia address.
Many
on his
thanks.
driver's license, so he has a different.
Glad
address
you
on
were
his
able to
driver's
do
license
so
than
on
he
both.
does, but we're not, it doesn't look like we're getting returned summons. When we set the hearing for today, we didn't get a returned.
I have a feeling that guy might be in the wind. I mean, we're all
so
saying he's
we'll
not.
get
I
you
think he
that
might
changed
be.
phone number. Okay, so we're gonna set this for pretrial. We're gonna send notice via the mail to his address that we have on file, which is the Tacoma address, and hopefully he will be in contact with Mr. Vanderboss and.
It's a very fancy
Mr.
ceiling
Vanderboss
over
is
there
working
at
on
a
getting a global
Smith's
resolution.
house.
So we'll note the FTA for the record.
I mean, look how fancy
And,
that is right there.
Hope he gets
That is
notice of his next court date and
fancy.
he's here and we can set a change of plea or take a plea at the second pretrial.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
If this would have been Judge Herman, he'd have been like FTA. Wouldn't have been all this chit chatting, pitter patter.
All right, and I don't see her on Zoom, or is she here?
I don't know, Your Honor, and I have no information for the
Okay.
court on that.
All right, so we'll call Megan Belka, 1A0408470. This was on for
Megan.
confirmation of trial. Ms. Belka is not present in the courtroom. I don't see her on
I like that idea.
Zoom. I'm gonna look at the docket to see if our notice was returned. So what happened the
Shut
last
up,
time we were
Chris.
in court is future dates remained as set. So we had originally set these trial dates, so.
We basically been
today
talking
was
about a guy that
confirmation
might be in the
trial on the
wind,
19th
Creed, but
and
that's about
bonus
it.
trial on
It's been
10/5
pretty
and
boring.
10/6.
Yeah, I've
Nothing
heard.
has
Do you
been
want to go over to
returned.
Cowlitz? I got that
Defendant
pulled
was
up.
not
Let's
present
go.
on
Got
8/8,
some
and the defendant is
prisoners
not
over
present.
here.
The
at
court will
least.
follow the recommendation. He'll have been in custody as of the 7 days today at 10:18 a.m. So we're asking the court to follow the recommendation so that he can be released and keep that appointment.
Is he hearing anything else?
It doesn't appear to be, Your Honor.
Ms. Keller,
They request that the court follow the agreement.
you want to say anything?
By the way,
I'm
Judge
sorry,
Herman
it's,
still
I
hasn't
made a
got to the
mistake.
people. He's still seeing people in the courtroom.
I apologize to the court.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
She must be on his ass. She must be so mad right now.
You know, Mr. Kleemeyer, I tell people this in my court all the time. Well, first of all, are you finding him indigent?
Excuse me?
I'm sorry, I'm asking your attorney.
Nobody's put forth any evidence that he's not, so yes, we're asserting
Finding
that
him
his
indigent?
status as indigent hasn't changed.
I tell people this all the time in my court.
Get a
He
job.
didn't make a mistake. He made a decision. And you ought to be embarrassed.
Oh,
I am.
You know what? I had my 6-year-old take stuff back because he stole something. And I made him take it to the store and tell the store owner what he did and face the store owner. And I remember him saying to me, going to the store, he said, "Mom, do you think they're going to arrest me?" And I said, "You know what? I don't know." I said, "They might." And he said, "Well, will you tell them what I did?" I said, "No, because I didn't do it." And you should be embarrassed. I can't even believe at your age you would even do something like this. Who does that?
What do you steal?
You know, and I can't even imagine doing something like that. And you didn't make a mistake. You made a decision. And you decided to do that. And you decided to embarrass yourself and embarrass your family. And you know better. And you can say you're sorry. And I believe you're sorry. But you didn't make a mistake.
We didn't hear.
A mistake is when you don't renew your tab.
We were late.
This was a decision you made, and you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
I am.
Damn.
So I'm going to go along with the recommendation.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm going to give you 7 days in jail, and I am going to suspend 357. I'm not going to give you any fines or fees because you don't have any money to pay for it. And you can't have any criminal law violations for 24 months. You can't go to Wilco. And
Wilco. This is Texas.
that's it.
Where we
That's all.
at?
I think we're in Texas, aren't we?
Herman Royce, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Everybody know what a Wilco is? Gas
his
station?
ass on that.
Why is that dude walking that? Oh my God. What is
Damn it,
Well,
Stoney.
she-
What's wrong?
she was
What's your name?
Herman what?
Okay.
she's pretty harsh on him. That dude needs to move the licking.
Yeah, he took a embarrassing beating. This ought to
That's a
be
diff-
good.
that's a little bit different though. I mean, if you're, if you have to. I'm guessing with the talking to that he just got, he wasn't just stealing for.
Maybe he stole gas or something.
But you're right. It's pretty hard. I mean, dude's got to sit for 7
Okay, you,
days.
Mr. Royce? Okay. You currently get mail on Hemlock?
Huh?
Do you currently get mail on Hemlock?
Huh?
Not,
Do you have a mailing address?
no, don't.
No? You get mail at all?
Yeah,
Where?
I usually get it on Broadway or at the mailing place thing. Yeah.
You get mail at general delivery?
Yeah.
Where?
At
Longview or Kelso?
Longview.
Longview, okay.
Um,
Okay, Mr. Royce, you got charged with trespass. You're looking up to 90 days in jail and a $1,000 fine. I'm gonna read you your rights. You have a right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, I'm gonna appoint one to you. You have a
Dave.
right.
Keeping the boat afloat today. Thank you.
You also have a right.
One man party.
To present evidence at trial. Mr. Royce, you understand your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
You have questions about your rights?
No.
You want an attorney?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Sure,
I'm
yeah,
gonna
why
put
not?
this, Grimm Law Group to represent you. And I'm going to ask Ms. Grimm if you have any issues with the probable cause of criminal trespass.
I have no PC issues to raise.
Okay.
Well, it was nice.
Ms. Keller, I'm going to find probable cause. I'm enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. Ms. Keller, what would you like to say?
Your Honor, we would defer to the court on bail, request standard release conditions.
And can I hear from you, Ms. Grimm, about release conditions?
Yeah, I skipped a step here.
His proper answer should have been, well, if they didn't trespass me from the place that I broke into, I was going to get mail there. That was my.
I was trying to set up
Looks like
residence.
he's held on $500 on the Longview matter as well. I'd ask for PR.
He has.
Look at the look on his face. Like,
Yes,
eh?
He also has a warrant out of Longview.
Dude, he's got a weird look, doesn't he?
yes.
Almost
I'm
smiling.
sure he'll be seen on that warrant later today.
Almost proud
I
of
don't
what he
see
did.
a ton of warrant history.
Has he been seen on the Longview one?
I wouldn't think so, not till 1 o'clock today.
Or he's
Okay.
going to lunge at the computer in front of him and start like, swinging
Yeah,
at it.
I'd ask for PR, Your Honor.
Maybe he doesn't understand technology.
Does he have an application with you for anything else?
I would dig in to find that, and I don't see.
Digging.
It looks like on the Longview one, I don't see anything where it said the judge ordered it. And that case was
James
set to
Sokoloff.
resolve. I don't see anything on the county case. There's a county case as well that quickly resolved, and I don't see an attorney up in that one either, so. I don't see an attorney up in any case. Maybe a clerk can see something I don't, but I
I
don't
could see that.
You've had Mr. Royce before.
Look at the guy on
we
the back row that she was
on
just
that
yelling
one.
at. He's been crying. He's wiping tears from his eyes.
Oh, he is. You're right. Boy, he got a real reaming, man.
She put it
The
on.
assignment doesn't say conditional. Generally, they say
No.
conditionally appointed, but it doesn't say that. It just says GLG assigned.
I bet that's happened
So I
before,
don't, I
but
don't know if an app
I
is
could see
required.
that.
Okay. Okay, what I'm gonna do is, he currently has a warrant on a Longview. I saw him, I believe,
He ain't going nowhere then.
last week. I'm gonna set bail at $250.
The heck, $25 to get out.
Your Honor, I was
Why
hoping
you-
for
Listen,
a law bond.
I want you, Mr. Royce, listen to me.
Oh, here we go.
I do not want you at Awakening. You cannot go there. Do you not understand that?
No, something like, they can't hire me. Yeah,
Okay, don't discuss the charges, Mr. Royce. Just,
I understand, I get it. Yeah. I understand. You know.
If you go to Awakening, you're gonna keep coming in here.
you can't even go
This
in
is
the
the other
parking lot.
thing. This is the other thing, Ms. Graham, and I
That's a
don't mean to be. speaking out of
substance
line.
abuse rehab in
So
Washington.
don't go toward the waking.
Okay, don't say anything, Mr. Royce.
He just asked the question. He said, so don't go to
This
Awakening.
may be an issue for 1077. I'm just
Yeah, that might be an issue that will be raised as soon as we're able to have contact with him. I think that's been.
Is
the
that a
issue why
mental
it hasn't been.
thing?
He's obviously got money.
Just
I
a
mean, he
favor,
can
my
afford
mom.
hair dye.
So at this point, do you want me to set in custody?
I would go ahead and set in custody.
Okay.
Criminally insane is 1077, by the way, in Washington.
I'm gonna go ahead and set them in custody.
I think
Dave,
might be
I'm
onto
gonna
something.
Come over there and see you.
She might be
all
right.
But I don't, if you get out, I don't want you to go back to Awakenings, okay? And I'm gonna put that on your release conditions. If you go back to Awakenings, you're probably.
There you
gonna
go.
end up
That
in
says
jail.
everything right there.
Yeah.
That tells you everything you need to know about this guy.
So the 1077.
That we're letting out for $25.
Right. Yeah.
Back on the street.
Right.
Get out of here. Go and get. Take your crazy ass back to the
Okay, we're gonna
street.
send this over there to you. Your next court day is going to be.
For
October
real?
4th,
Stony without
2 o'clock
rich
in the
parents,
afternoon, courtroom 4.
without having a father there
Via
to
Zoom.
Guide
take
him.
after him. This is what you get.
Do you see them in your office to help them as far as being able to contact the court?
If they need help, we help them. We're close to the public, but if they need help getting in contact, they can come in and use our phone. We can't let them use our computers. That wouldn't be ethical. But
I'm
we
just thinking that he may have an issue being able to get in touch.
That man can't use no damn computer.
We can provide that here. It'll just be over the phone.
You can go to the library for Pornhub, right?
10:17, 2 o'clock.
Let him use the computers.
Jury trial is going to be 10:31, 9 o'clock in person.
He won't be there.
You have to contact
Unless
your
he's kept
attorney.
in court, in jail the whole time.
Oh,
At
no.
2:50.
Yeah, no,
Somebody's
he's-
going to come over to talk to you, okay?
He'll be back after the warrant.
Okay, that's all.
Christopher Wright, or White, Your Honor?
And he kicks it on back. Yeah.
God, Griggs.
Yeah. Get this man a comb.
Yeah, his hair's a little weird. It's got a little bit of a Matt Lee look, like if Matt Lee didn't get married in Colombia, you know?
Right. Continue to be a rock DJ.
Okay, sir, you are Christopher White.
Yes, ma'am.
By Shells.
You currently have a mailing address on Douglas and Kalama.
Yes, ma'am.
At least he got an address. It's better than the
Okay,
last
Mr.
two.
White, you have 4 charges here.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
You have assault in the 4th domestic violence. You were looking at up to 364 days in jail, $5,000 fine. You have malicious mischief TV.
But I'll give
You're
you
looking at
250.
364 days in jail, $5,000 fine.
Uh-oh. This
You
dude's
have a
bad news.
Then you were looking at up to 364 days in jail, $5,000 fine. Finally, you have interfering with reporting of domestic violence. You have up to.
Gotta be a big
364
fine,
days in
right?
jail, $5,000 fine. At this point, sir, I am
It's
going to
10K.
read you your rights. You have a right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney, I will appoint one for you. You have a right to a speedy trial, a right to confront and cross-examine witnesses at trial. You also have a right to present evidence at trial. Do you have questions about your rights?
No, ma'am.
Do you want me to appoint an attorney to represent you?
Yes, please.
I
You
am
might need
going to
like
use
2 of
a
them.
Law group to represent you. I am also going to enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. I'm also going to go to Ms. Grimm and ask her for any issues or comments regarding probable cause.
I would have asked Miss Grimm what her favorite Reba McEntire song is.
I don't. But I was just initially able to read it quickly, so I don't find anything. Praise.
Okay. Go ahead.
Matt. Well,
All right. Miss Grimm prepared for the day.
How come her grandfather clock never goes off? We get to hear those nice chimes. That's what I know.
Oh, it's a grandmother clock. It has no bells.
Did this hit his fourth DV?
Mr. White, how long have you lived in the state of Washington?
Or a fourth degree, one of the two.
Little over 4 years.
Where'd you live before then, sir?
Roggle monkey.
Oregon.
Monkey.
Ms. Keller, was an NCIC done?
I don't have access to that as coverage, Your Honor.
Okay.
She seems to be perplexed down there.
Your Honor, in regards to PC, I'm not sure I'm seeing an assault. Maybe I've missed it.
Go ahead and get your guesses in how much his bell's going to be.
I think that she said 5 and 5. So
I heard him say fines could be $5,000, but fines up to $5,000.
There's got to be a lot to this. If I mean, it looks like the judge's looking now, and Grimm is still on the case. So I'm guessing there's a long trail of this type of behavior. Maybe
Grimm's just looking for hair dye online at retail prices.
She don't like that skunk look.
No, the money rate does not work with her.
First day that we were introduced to Grimm, she was in a very bad mood. Do you remember that? She's really mean.
Oh yeah,
that day.
I forgot it was her because of the skunk. But when I seen the grandfather clock back there, I said, "Oh no, we're in trouble again."
I don't think that Cowlitz is too crazy. I mean, it's not a Licking or a Nye County.
No, I think you'd be fine there.
They got some. They got some crazies, but not. I don't think it's off the charts though.
Now we know T is setting up a compound, looking for acreage.
No, I like that. I hope that I get to a point in my life I look for acreage somewhere.
We're busy looking for quarter acreage.
I just it's a judge waiting.
The judge is about to get loose on somebody. I mean, keep making her wait.
Almost blowing steam out of her ears at the moment. Well, yeah, I'll tell Knox and he'll be there within a year. Love that. Well, Mikey loves the fishing boat.
I like to fish. I've never fished for salmon.
Salmon.
I'm done looking at it.
Oh, sorry. Did you have any comments?
I just that I don't find PC for an assault. There's no police officers don't note any
What
injuries.
about pulling her hair?
She even said that was by accident.
Hey, Trisha.
She said he pulled her hair for fun.
Oh,
Strictly.
sorry, I was waiting for you. Ms. Keller, what do you want to say?
I got a longer version, and she did state to the police officers that he took the phone from her and in the process of that pulled her hair, as well as part of her ear. It looked like her earring was ripped out. I'm going to add that part in it again, though.
That's not in the PC statement.
And the one that I was sent from Jessica.
No, I just love how you said it.
Find it again.
That's great.
I thought she sounded like she was going to run cattle through.
Yeah, she's going to a ranch. Sweet Tea's Ranch.
Sweet Tea's Ranch.
Pull up, get a couple of pews on the side, right? The big gate. You know what I mean? It's Sweet Tea Ranch. I mean, I can see
huge
right now.
Huge steer.
You get a couple city slickers
We
driving
have
up.
to use supplemental information for PC. We are served the PC statement right here.
There you go. I can't drive over that thing. It's just some metal. You know the things that they put at the gates so that the cows can't walk across.
Attached to the citation.
States that while on the phone with 911, Christopher pulled the phone away from my ear aggressively, accidentally pulled my hair and caused pain.
Oh no.
Regardless if it was an accident, I still believe it was assault.
Well, where was the earring part then, Miss Keller
It's an offensive touching.
or Mrs.
Oh, offensive touching, Creed.
Supplemental reports as far as,
None of that will be.
He was honking while he
Well,
pulled.
what
it.
she just read didn't really add any information, so I don't have any objection to that.
Miss Keller has a very dainty nose.
I was wondering if the greens or the well, it's not really a green screen. It's the thing that's. I wonder if that's making it look smaller. or-
It's very dainty.
I thought there was another piece in it. I'm trying to find.
There's another piece. Is she intentionally doing that with her voice?
Keller, where she almost talked a little bit like a dope sick person. You mean where you kind of talk underneath your
at this point, I am not. going
Vocal
to-
fry. No.
Is that what that's called? I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's vocal fry.
Am I wrong with saying that almost sounds like people that are dope sick? You know what I mean? Like that like.
Well, I know it's a big thing now, young among millennials and stuff, where
Or
they're
is-
trying to do the vocal fry.
Okay.
Makes you sound more
It's a-
smart, I guess.
Is
I
that
don't know.
along the lines that Noah? Noah.
It's a heavy-
I don't know Noah.
It's a touching. And it sounds pretty.
Oh no. By the way, while they're looking, we've had a let me share this to you. I think we've had
At this point, I'm
we've
not.
had a
gonna find out-
fatality.
Oh no.
I'm not gonna find PC for the assault. I am gonna find PC for the, and then if you want to do a supplemental report with more, I am gonna find PC for malicious Mr. TV, for obstruction and for interfering with reporting. And at this point, I'm gonna enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. I am gonna appoint the Office of Public Defense.
Larry died.
Grimlaw Group.
I mean, I'm sorry for
Oh,
Grimlock.
I can't tell somebody not to
And
do that
at
or not to
this
say
point,
bad things.
I am gonna go ahead and I'm gonna set date. Release conditions, Ms. Keller.
Your Honor,
Your Honor.
I'm looking at this real quick. We
Let me
would
see what I
be,
can do.
I'm not seeing any other criminal history, Your Honor, so we'll defer to the court on bail. I did not see anywhere where the
Google
alleged victim asked for a no contact.
Wow.
However, given the severity of the aggressiveness with interfering with the reporting, if she does ask for it at a later time, the city would be requesting this at that time. At this time, we will not be asking for one. We would just request that standard police conditions be imposed.
Lloyd?
Ms. Krim.
We agree, Your Honor. He's got no other history that I can see. I can only see Washington. I'm gonna assume that this is the only thing in his history. We'd ask for PR.
You know, I'm a little reluctant, and I'll tell you why.
Oh, here we go.
I'm not sure. I realize that these are allegations, but I'm not sure, and you don't need to say anything, but I want you to hear what my thought pattern is. Are you listening, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not sure with the lack of cooperation with the police and the way he acted, whether he's going to show up to court. Doesn't sound like he was being very cooperative. Doesn't sound like he was being very helpful. Doesn't sound like he's being cooperative at all. So that makes me wonder in my mind if he's really going to cooperate with showing up for court. That's a rhetorical question, but I am going to ask you, you're going to show up or you're not going to show up?
Yes, ma'am. I will show up and do my part to make whatever I got to do this right.
Because I'm going to tell you straight up, you don't show up, then I'm going to set high bail because then I know where you're going to be and I know you're going to be showing up. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
You're going to show up, you're going to be in court and you're going to make all your court dates or I'm going to set high bail because this is a bad scene. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm going to set some court dates. I'm going to give you a chance and release you on your own recognizance, but there's not going to be any further criminal law violations while this case is going on. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
No, your change of address changes. You have to get hold of your court-appointed counsel. You're going to get information. I want an application filled out before you leave the jail. I want to look at your income. You have to fill out an application. You have to contact your attorney. we're gonna set some court dates, and you have to appear via Zoom. Your first court date is going to be on,
All right. So we know what's going on with him. That was kind of weird. No, it's almost like they were maybe digging a little deeper to try and find
It
something.
seemed like, yeah, they wanted to find something else to pin on this guy. Or maybe they're just looking for a pattern of behavior to see if this was a one-time incident, but it doesn't seem like the judge was completely convinced, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I think there was kind of I think we heard pretty much. Is she going? Wait, let me see if she's.
asking you. I noticed when I read this, Ms. Keller, I need you to look at this. Ms. Grimm, I need you to look at this too.
Oh, they find something.
And I'm gonna look also.
Oh no.
It sounded to me,
Hi, Bob.
Hi.
Oh, he does. He's got yes, but I could see that.
What are we looking at?
like the female was pretty inebriated. Was there any mention of him being inebriated?
Oh.
As well.
I didn't see anything about his. I did look for that.
I didn't hear what you had asked, Your Honor.
Was there any evidence of him being intoxicated?
You know what?
Because
as an
she
abundance
was?
of Caution, I don't want any alcohol drank while this case is going on. You understand?
I like the wet
Yes,
look.
ma'am.
No consuming of alcohol, no recreational marijuana.
Well,
no
Jay, we
controlled
found out
substance.
she's got a stealing kid of
Because
6
I
years.
could be wrong,
Yeah.
I could be totally wrong, but if she
Even
was
ass
inebriated,
youngin.
generally people aren't, when this kind of situation is going on, generally they're not drinking by themselves. And so I don't want any alcohol going on in the household while this
Way
is
to
going on.
assume.
Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so make sure you make all your court dates, get hold of your attorney, fill that application out.
Maybe she's
before
an
you leave the jail,
alcoholic
that's
and
all.
drinks by herself all
Thank you,
day.
Your Honor.
Okay, that's all.
Damn.
Sorry.
Guys, we're gonna cut it there. Is Larry still there? Let me jump over. We can watch him on the way out.
Yes, Your Honor.
Oh my God!
All right, both of you raise your right hands for me, please.
Oh, he's
That was a
awake.
weird one.
Swear the testimony in this case will be the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
These
Yes.
two against each other?
All right, Mr. Meno asserts that Mr. Grubb attacked him with a baseball bat and we collected a picture of his injured arm as a result of that.
Whoa! Wait a minute. Oh, I just see him walking. All right, if
No
he gets back
copy of the
alive.
police report and no criminal charge that I can see. So, Mr. Meno, fill me in. Do you have any idea what's happened with that police report?
I did get a police report and I did email it to the courts.
Former
You should have
lovers?
had that with
So are they gonna follow through? Is there gonna be a referral to the prosecutor's office? What do you know?
oh yes, that was sent
Well,
to the
yeah.
prosecutor's office, the report,
Dresses up in a
including the
dress.
video.
Have you heard from the prosecutor's office?
No, I have not.
Have you checked with them to see what the status of the case is?
No, I have not.
Larry's either
I
laying
don't
on the
even have the
floor
way to
or has the very high
contact
plugs in his house.
that office, I guess, is what I need to do, I guess. for that.
It would be the Thurston County Prosecutor's Office.
Okay. But I thought I would, I thought I emailed the police report as well as the, my witness report.
Yeah, I don't have any of that in here.
Wow.
Wow. I can't believe Larry attacked somebody with a baseball bat. Wow.
I have a couple of photos and that's it. That made it. in.
I
Okay, all right, so hold off for a second here. What was the date this occurred?
August, around, August 1st, it happened.
Okay, and you said Mr. Grubb just came out and hit you
Yes.
with a baseball bat.
Yes, he has an issue with his dog and I believe with my service animal where
Aminal?
he believes that when he is bringing his animal out to use the restroom, that I have to listen to his command and stay where I'm at until his pet is done using the restroom. Now I'm gonna explain.
Please do.
Him and I share common areas on this property, and so every time this is the second time that this has happened. It happened last year, and this year it happened again, to where he will make his animal pee in the common area and expect me to wait wherever I'm at until his animal is done. And this happened last year, and last year when this occurred, I told him, I said, excuse me, but this is like an open
There you go.
space. If he has a problem, he can walk his animal away or whatever, but he chooses to stand there and command me to stop. And this is, like I said, this is a common area. We both live on the same property, 2 different buildings, and we share all these common areas, especially with our animals.
Is he treating
and
Vince
using
like
the
a dog?
restroom. And that's
Okay,
the problem Grubbs has. There's like half a dozen people on this property with dogs. He does not say anything to them. He's always had said that to me. And the night that he had assaulted me with the club, after the security guard came out
Wait,
to
what?
The club.
Separate us.
He said plug.
Mr. Grubbs walked into the building with the club in his hand, and I yelled while I was on the ground with the security guard. I yelled at him saying, "What the F do you have that club for?" And he turned around and stated that that was for people like me. Now, for one thing, we're not supposed to have weapons on this property. It's in our lease. We have a new lease this year that states no weapons on this property. I do not understand why Mr. Grubbs has to have a weapon when we do have a armed security guard on property right now.
All
Sounds
right,
like a
thank
nice
you.
place.
Yeah.
Mr. Grubbs, is there a reason you're laying down?
Yes. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Yes, I have a bad back. I was an electrician. I fell 8 or 9 feet landing on my back on a concrete floor.
Nice.
My back
Okay.
fractured fractures, a disc fracture, and 2 herniated discs. And right now, after sitting here, my back is in pain.
Okay, all right. Yeah, that's all I need to know. Okay, so before you
Good
say
enough
anything,
excuse, in
I've
other
sworn you
words,
in.
Larry.
Mr. Meno indicates that you assaulted him with a bat or a club, and that the police took a report, and he understands that report has been filed with the prosecutor's office.
What is
which
that thing
means,
that locks your steering
you know,
wheel?
I don't know any more than what he's told
Club.
me.
You know, the club.
But that means they could be considering charges. If that's the case,
Be great if it was
that's a pretty serious charge, probably a felony charge of assault if they choose to file it. And, you know, that risks long-term jail. So you don't have a lawyer with you right now.
Yeah, no, he's
anything
right
you
here.
say today could be used by a
He's laying in bed with
prosecutor if
Larry.
They do charge you with assault. So I want you to fully understand. And I'm confident that if you did have an attorney, the attorney would say, don't say anything in
The
that
club.
hearing when you're under oath, and you are under oath. So, want to say anything today or not?
Yes, sir, I do, because what he has said is less than accurate.
Okay.
Good job,
Okay,
Larry.
just tell me in your own words, you understand that anything you say today could be used against you if there's a criminal case. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, everyone else in this facility that has a dog, we work to avoid each other so there's not a problem. But Vince refuses to do so. All I asked him to do was wait until my dog was done going to the bathroom, and I went right back in the building. And I never threatened him. I never hit him. What happened was I raised my arm to intimidate him, and he grabbed my arm. And when he did, I put him on his back on the concrete, on the sidewalk. He pulled me down on top of me. And that's how my knee impacted the concrete.
Thought that was
I had a
amazing.
mild heart attack in the process of all of this. I wound up in the hospital for 4 days. When I got out, I told the people running this place that I was done. I'm not going to live like this anymore, because the reason we have armed guards now is because there was a shooting in this building. When I went out, took my little dog out to go to the bathroom, I walked back in. I had to step over a dead body laying in the doorway. I had to walk around him. I went in my apartment. I got a tray of medical supplies, went back out, and then I saw where the bullet hit him. And I knew there was nothing I could do because the bullet hit the guy's heart.
Electrician
but as
and paramedic.
for threatening him, no, I never threatened him. All I asked him to do was to stop and wait until my dog was done going to the bathroom. And everybody else around here with dogs, we avoid each other. So there's not a problem. But Vince doesn't do that.
So much
And
more
so
to
you
this
did
story.
intimidate him, and then
He grabbed my arm,
Didn't hit
and
him.
I used a technique they taught me in 1969. I'm a veteran, and I put him on his back.
Okay.
Reminds me of those
Pulled
videos
me
we've
down on
seen.
top of him. And as I said, now I've got an appointment to see a cardiologist because of the heart attack I had, the mild heart attack I had, and they took an X-ray of my knee in the hospital. There's a chip, something in my knee. That's the reason for the orthopedic surgeon. But again, it goes back to if Vince would have stopped and waited, then none of this would have happened. If he would have stayed away from me, none of this would have happened.
Did they catch the killer? Or is he still roaming the halls? It could be Vince that shot the guy, allegedly.
Vince was laughing when he was talking about the heart attack and the dead body. Sitting back laughing.
Vince has got a good look.
My gosh,
Samurai.
I did not see any of this coming from the beginning at all.
Yeah, Larry was like, yeah, you damn right I want to
Your
say
Honor,
something.
Are you still resident at the property, Mr. Grubb?
Yes. And until
Okay.
I've already given notice to this place that as soon as I'm done with my medical issues, seeing the cardiologist, the orthopedic surgeon, I'm going to move. I'm done living like this. Had a murder on this property, and now we have this situation. It goes on and on and on, and I'm done living like this. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm 72 years old. I will be 73 the 28th of October,
Happy
and
birthday.
I'm done being attacked by people. I'm not going to live like this.
I love Larry.
Because the individual that was shot went after me outside the building when I was taking my dog out to go to the bathroom. And 2 minutes later, I walked back into the building and stepped over his dead body because the guy in the apartment next to me, when this was going on outside, got up, went into his apartment, got a handgun, came back out, sat down in the same chair. And when Jeffrey walked into the building, he started off on Chelsea, the woman behind the desk, then turned to go off on Steve, and Steve shot him. And I'm not going to live like this. I mean, I'm done. I refuse to go on like this.
Better be careful, Vince. You might be next.
And again, it does have nothing to do with Vince. I mean,
What about Steve that shot him? What happened to Steve? Steve popped the cap in the guy. Why? And what
no,
happened?
yeah, Daryl Larry's going to come back out and revive him.
Yeah. I went inside and grabbed my medical tray. Come back and, well, there was no helping the guy.
Ladies and
Steve's a
gentlemen,
crack shot.
Skylar, haven't seen her in quite a while.
No, but it's good to see her.
Mr. Grubb saying that there's sort of a rhythm of people taking their dogs out to go to the bathroom, and that Mr. Meno doesn't respect that rhythm, and that's why he got upset. He tried to intimidate Mr. Meno into
Always.
complying with it, and in the course of that, they ended up having a tussle. Mr. Meno says Mr. Grubb actually struck him with a club.
I didn't.
And the Olympia Police and Mr. Grubb denies that, and the Olympia Police came out and filed a report, and we don't know what the status of that report is.
They don't have cameras there?
I will indicate, I am going to sign the protection order. Mr. Grubb, you don't have the right to tell Mr. Meno what to do or not to do regarding the animals. You can ask him, and if he doesn't do anything, you don't go about trying to intimidate him into doing something different.
And to throw his
So I
arm on
will
his
grant the
back.
protection order. It'll be in effect for 1 year. It's not going to require any distance limitation since you both live on the same property. It's just that
Larry's
you
out
are
there
to
looking
have
at
no
Vincent through the
contact
window.
with Mr. Minow at all during that year period. So you can't say anything to him. You can't go to his residence. You're to have no contact with Mr. Minow. Understood?
Yes,
Watch
sir.
out.
Okay.
Larry's going to get up with Steve
All
and
right,
going to put
I
a
sign
hit
that
out on
order, and We
Vince.
will email copies of that order to both of you.
Thank you.
I mean, what a great one to
Wow, what
to
a
end on.
what a way to go.
I'm kind of surprised, but then we didn't know all the side that Larry really Vince didn't really why did Vince even say that he was thrown down or anything? He just said that
No,
was
he
hit
didn't
with
say
a
anything about that part.
bat in the beginning. It was all he said.
Yeah, he struck him with the club / the bat.
Oh, I thought that too, little Linda, right?
Oh yeah, Vince has got his hair up so he can put it under his wig. Allegedly.
Allegedly, all of it's alleged.
What a great time that was. That was beautiful. What a beautiful day in court. Hopefully everybody enjoyed themselves. If you didn't get to watch all of this, rewind it. There was some doozies in there today.
Oh, that was the best one though that we just watched. That is fantastic. Him walking over a dead body and thinking he's going to come back and then I saw he was shot in the heart. So I knew.
Steve was a crack shot, so I knew he had zero chance of surviving. He's a veteran as well.
I just why did Vince not sit there and say, he threw me down on the concrete. He did this, he did that.
I mean, he still got the protective order for a year.
He did. He didn't even need to really. All he said that he's hit with it, and then it turned into a club. Whatever. Oh, and a mild heart attack. Let's not forget about that.
Yeah. Well, there will be a free apartment there if anybody's looking for a place to stay and you don't have a dog.
That's until Larry. No, that's after all of his medical stuff gets done. If you heard that,
that could take.
It
could take a while.
He'll be living there till he dies.
Larry's going nowhere.
There's a Bon Jovi song.
Just a mild, very mild.
I love ending. I love it, again, the fun part of doing this live is you never know where things are going to go. Kind of a slow start. Got to do one where that actually looked like it was going to be a good case, but we can't sit here for 4 hours, going through evidence and going through this and that, and especially with the CPS stuff. It's kind of. But what a good one to end on. Had some good ones in college today too. I gotta say. So,
yeah, it was a good day all the way around. A+ for effort and A+ for Skylar.
See you guys at 4:05 East for Benny Chase Monday, and we got a chase, and that's all I got.
Yep. We're done here. Make sure you like this video if you already liked it. And do us a big favor. Subscribe to We Got a Case only channel. Even if you're going to watch over here, just do us a favor. Slap that on there because from what I'm hearing, YouTube announcing tomorrow are changing their monetization rules. It's might be a lot easier to become monetized after tomorrow. We'll see, kids. Until next time. We'll talk off the air about that. Yeah.
I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the friggin' frogs gay.